Hi everyone, John here. I'm here again with another new gadget here. We've got the Fire HD10 tablet with, I'm not going to say the A word, it might turn on. Alexa? Oh, it turns on. Well, I've already opened it, so let's see what we've got in this thing. Alright, I'm going to unbox it right now. We got a beautiful box here, but we also have USB cord, power adapter, very nice, even says Alexa on it, and we have this wonderful tablet along with a couple of cards that, you know, freebies to watch something or look at something, because we're going to do that. We're just going to watch movies on this thing, right? So let's look at this tablet. It is a 10.1 inch tablet. I'm going to get to all the specs in a minute, but let's turn it on. Okay, every time you turn this on, you're going to get a little advertisement from, guess who? Amazon. And you're going to be able to do this. If I shut it off again, turn it on again, you get a different advertisement. And that's based on your preferences eventually. What I really like about this is that you can just, you've got a profile. My wife's and mine, I can just hit that and I get to a different profile. So she'll be on her search page with all her Amazon profile, and if I switch to mine, I can get to that. That's something you just can't do on an iPad, which I really appreciate. The other thing is these ads don't bother me. I can use these ads I like looking at different things every time I turn on the tablet. I don't mind it, really. And let's get to the specs. Let's look at what this tablet has to offer. It's 10.1 inches. It has, right here on the top, power button, USB, your microphone, your 3.5 millimeter jack, your volume up and down. On the bottom here, you have stereo speakers. Actually, you got a right and left speaker, and those are actually Dolby speakers, so this should sound really good. On the bottom, pretty much nothing. On the other side, we have this handy USB area, so we can sit here and just put a USB card in there and you'll be good to go. On this side we have a 2 megapixel camera, and on the front we have VGA camera. I'm going to talk about that later, but VGA, probably the worst camera we've seen in a long time, but it's just to put it there, I guess. It's very grainy. The two megapixel camera here is pretty much the lowest end on a camera you can get. So let's talk about specs. So like I said, this has a 10.1 inch screen with a 1.8 gigahertz quad core processor. So what that gives you is a pretty snappy device. So if I'm just scrolling through, I get pretty snappy going anywhere I want to go. It's not too bad. It's actually really nice just going through this. 2 gigabytes of RAM and up to 10 hours battery life. That is pretty good, pretty standard with a tablet this size. That 1.8 gigahertz processor is actually 30% faster than the previous tablet. Now the 1080p screen that we just looked at is 1920 by 1200, and it's full HD. So when you're watching a movie, you've got full HD going on. You've got 2 million pixels, and it's a 1080p screen at 224 pixels per inch. So that's going to give you some pretty decent detail. So if you're going to be watching a movie, it'll be pretty nice. And I'm going to show some video and everything coming up. The price of this tablet is $150 for 32 gigabytes. And 64 gigabytes is costs you about $190. So really not a bad deal for this particular device. It's actually the cheapest Android tablet you're going to get, and of course it is Amazon, so it is an Amazon tablet. You can get 3 colors. I've got the black here. You can get marine blue, and they call it punch red. So it's pretty nice if you get. It's a matte black back on this, by the way, so no fingerprints. Now the first model that they released in Europe was shiny and fingerprint. They've learned from that. It's actually no fingerprints in the back and everything. As for the plastic around the edges, it's a little I would not say you basically feel that it's not the most premium tablet. It's not very good material. It's plastic all the way around. You do feel the edge. So, you know, you've got that, but it's not an expensive tablet, so that's what you're going to get. The speakers on the side, so when you're holding it landscape-wise, your speakers are going to be on the bottom. And those speakers are going to be in stereo, and they are actually configured with Dolby audio. So you can actually get, with headphones, you can get Dolby Atmos. It'll process Dolby Atmos on here. So if you're watching a YouTube video with Dolby Atmos, you're going to be able to hear that in the speaker. I don't know why they put Dolby Atmos. It's better sound, but with headphones, Dolby Atmos is speakers in the ceiling, so I don't see where that's going to get you anything, but whatever. There you go. Dual band 802.11ac Wi-Fi. So that's pretty fast Wi-Fi on this. So you're going to get a very good streaming device with a lot of extra power in there. So I'm going to look at some video. I can look at my videos here, and you can see that I just took this picture last night. And you could actually go landscape or whatever. And if you're watching a movie, it's going to be quite nice. So I talked about the 2 megapixel in the rear. It's VGA, and the front is actually a VGA 640 by 480 pixels. That is an incredibly poor camera, so I'm going to show you a picture of that. All right, so I took a picture of myself, and it's very grainy. With this VGA camera, you're going to just get grainy pictures in the front, no matter what you do. Unless you're in bright sunlight, probably. Other than that, you're going to probably be grainy pictures. In the back, 2 megapixel, probably pretty decent. It's not going to be too bad. The camera feels kind of like a blast from the past, the front and the rear a little bit. But hey, we're just so used to, you know, high megapixel cameras these days. If I say the A word, it's going to be in hands-free mode. So all I have to do is go, Alexa, what's the weather?
In Tampa, it's 73 degrees with clear skies. Tonight, you can look for mostly clear skies.
All right, so
with a low of 68 degrees.
You can see that you don't even have to press a button, it just does it. So anytime you say Alexa, it's going to ding, and you got it. See, there you go. And it's not going to hear you. I mean, it will hear you, but I'm trying not to have it talk right now. So it displays cards. So if you say, Alexa, what was the last score of the Buccaneers game? And it will show a card.
On Sunday, the Buccaneers lost to the Cardinals, 38-33. They'll play this Sunday at 1 p.m. away against the Bills.
So it's going to show cards as you go through and display everything. So it's going to be nice. If you get the case that comes with it, actually the case doesn't come with it, but if you buy a case, you can have it stand up, and that might be a little bit better if you have it in the kitchen and things like that. So hands-free mode is pretty good. Like I said, 32 gigabyte storage, really good. You've got the typical Amazon stuff. You've got all the Amazon movies, Amazon Prime. If you subscribe to that, you're going to get the Prime movies. You're going to get Kindle ebooks and magazines, Android apps, and things like that. So the drawback is you do not get any of the Google apps. So to do that, you're going to have to shut off. You're going to allow third-party apps, and then you can probably go ahead and get your Google Calendar and things like that you want, certain apps that you want to do. So the store in here is just the Amazon store originally, so you're going to have to sideload everything else, and there's tips on the internet on how to do that. So it's not going to be a problem, but if you want to get more functionality out of it and get your Google stuff, you're going to have to learn how to do that. You can play songs and games. The best thing about this is it's cheap and powerful. So the great thing about this is it's powerful. The build quality is really good. It doesn't, you know, you can't bend it. It doesn't have a problem with build quality in the sense it really feels solid. But it is heavy. It's 1.1 pounds, so it's heavier than an iPad. You're not going to want to hold this for a long period of time, but it's definitely good to sit and watch movies with and things like that. But be prepared to live without the Google apps. They use Android in their core. I think it's Android Lollipop, and you know they feature the Fire OS, and it's really just geared toward having you buy things. So for the most part, it's all geared to you buying things. And if you just go to your app store, I mean, if you go to the shop, you're going to see everything that you bought. Those HDMI cables, I bought. So it knows everything about you. That's the great thing about it. They did not make an extra strong kids edition. So there's no rubber padding on this. They didn't make a kids edition, which would cost you a little bit more, but it would be guaranteed to drop or anything like that. They didn't do that, so there is no kids edition on this. So you don't have the rubber around it or anything. You have to buy a different case if you want to do that. Let's go over the pros. So incredibly low price, $150 or $190. Pretty good price on that. You can't beat that for a tablet. Sharp 1080p screen. It's an IPS screen. I think the colors on here are really good. I don't have a problem with the picture. It really is quite nice. You get a significant RAM and processor upgrade. So you get more than 30% faster processor on this, so you're going to be, and you get 2 gigabytes of RAM versus 1 gigabyte of RAM, so it gives you a lot more in this way of speed and processing that you can do in the foreground of this device. You have hands-free Alexa as well, so that is really amazing. Very good just for that. If you just want just a device like that, it's great to have around. Anytime you just set this in the kitchen, you want a device anywhere you want, you've got that with you. The cons are no Google Apps unless you go ahead and break it, or not break it, but if you sideload things, you know, you can get the all that. And there are some slowdown issues with games. It doesn't have a high graphics processing power, so when you are playing games, you're going to get some slowdowns and some stuttering with high intensity games. So you're going to have that. So there you go. If you just want like a high powered gaming machine, this is not it. But you just don't have the Google apps. That's the cons. Other than that, quite good. Silk browser, quite snappy. Love the Silk browser. Some people don't like it. I would prefer a more standard browser, but I found it to be quite good. I changed it to Google as my search preference. It defaults to Bing. Playing YouTube. You can play any YouTube that you want. You do have a YouTube app that you can download, and sounds pretty good. I can expand it. So actually, if you look at that picture, really not bad. Really, really good. Sound and picture, really, really good. Like it. You can stream Netflix, you can stream Amazon Prime. There are a lot of things that you can do with it. You could tell it to open apps. Alexa, open calculator.
Here's calculator.
All right, so you can do that. You can just swipe down from the bottom, the top. You've got a lot of different things on it that you can do. Again, snappy processor. Like it. Compared to the iPad, I prefer the iPad. But if you just want a cheap tablet, you've got this. You know, it's good for the kids if you want to have them use it. You got different profiles that you can log into. I love that. So, I do these videos weekly. Please subscribe, like, share with your friends. Comment below. I definitely like to answer all your comments and questions, so let me know what you think of this tablet. Do you think I should stick with this or go with another iPad? Whatever, just let me know. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. Take care.